Happy Mother's Day, everyone. I hope you're going to have a good day. If you have your mother alive, I hope you're spending the day with her, or you're with your children or grandchildren. And I was thinking, what makes a mother? It's everything from happiness to heartache. Well, at least these are my thoughts. Some people go through long roads to become a mother, going through fertility treatments. Other people go through adoption. And then some people are just lucky and fall pregnant and have children. I have had children grow under my heart and one grow in my heart. I adopted one daughter and I had the rest, which would be, another daughter and 6 boys. So what makes a mother? A mother is someone that will live through 9 months of puking her brains out just to get that baby. A mother will go through, trying to think, out of 8 kids, what could I think of? What did mothers go through before they even got to hold that beautiful baby in your arms? Well, of course, we all pee on a stick. How many times? I don't know. Maybe 20, 30 before we get that first. What are those things? When you're TTC, you're a BFP, that's right, that's what it's called. And then even when you get that positive, you keep peeing on a stick. Well, not me. I put the pee in a cup, and then I put the stick in the cup. I don't know. I guess I don't have a good aim. So we start there, and then from there goes our dreams and aspirations for the children that we're going to have, the babies, the thoughts, the hopes for their future. And then all of a sudden we get a wave of nausea, unless you're lucky and you never got it. And then you hear, well, it only lasts for a little while and it's only in the morning. Ha! Who said that? Must have been a man. No, morning sickness can be morning, noon, and night. I was one of the lucky ones. My first pregnancy, I had it all around the clock. That's where started my first dislike of making a turkey. That was my first year of being a wife, being pregnant, and having to make a turkey, going, I don't know how many miles away from New York to Arizona, 5,000, I don't know. That's where I was, away from my family, my first Thanksgiving as a wife, pregnant, and had to make a turkey. Well, that was the end of my turkey making days, because I associated my nausea from making a turkey. Anything I smelled, that was it. I couldn't take it. So the thing that I heard about, it's only in the morning, no, not for me. It wasn't that way. Then we get, what else happens? Then we get swollen feet if you're not lucky, swollen legs. Can go as far as preeclampsia, which I got at 17 weeks with my 8th child. Then there are those lucky women that just breeze through pregnancy. They just glow. Yes, they say you get this glow. I think I had the glow. I don't know. I wouldn't know. My face looked green most of the time from being sick to my stomach. But not everyone. Not everyone was that bad. I can't remember how many. Try to forget those awful times. Then you go through whatever else in the big tummy and you think, well, at least me. I'm speaking for me. How much more can your stomach grow? Me being a thin person, I was thinking, there can't be room. There just can't. I mean, where does the skin come from? It's already so tight to begin with. But you grow and you grow and you grow some more. And I don't know, I never thought of what happens afterward when you have the baby. I don't know why. I just thought, is my stomach going to just totally explode? I mean, it's amazing. Isn't the woman's body amazing? How you can grow a baby. Some people have triplets, quadruplets, quintuplets, and on. I can't even imagine. One was enough to grow for me. But we are responsible for a child's life, growing a human being. That has to be the most important and hardest job in the world. And sadly, after 9 months, 2 months, whatever, sometimes the babies don't make it. Yes, that is the sad part of motherhood. That is the heartache. And that just goes along with it. And I know for me, every time I would think and hope and pray that the baby makes it. makes it into the world with all the wonderful hopes, dreams, and aspirations I have. So after we'd gone through those 9 months of either breezing through pregnancy, wasn't me, then what comes next? Well, for me, I remember my first baby. I was very young. I married, I think, a year out of high school, and we joined a Lamaze class. And like I shared with you, the people that have been around for a while, my husband was quite a bit older than me. I know, my poor mom, how would I put her through? What she would have thought. What was I thinking? I don't know. I wasn't thinking. But anyhow, so we were in a Lamaze class, and everyone was real much older than me, and I felt like just a little child. But I was a year, well, almost 2 years out of high school at that point, by the time you go to Lamaze, and doing all that, you know, the panting and all that stuff, and your little thing, what was it called? I don't know, you take something and you look at your focal point. I don't know, you're supposed to look at, I don't even remember anymore. But anyhow, went through Lamaze class. Only imagine what those people thought. This young girl with this old guy. Well, I don't know, he's 12, 15 years older than me, maybe 10. I don't know, don't remember, but he was older than me. But he didn't look old. Well, he did look older, but not that much. So you do all Lamaze, and you bring your pillow, and they talk about don't forget your pillow and your, I wish I knew what that was called. You take a thing and you look at it and you concentrate when you're doing your special breathing and the panting and all that. So my first time in the rodeo wasn't a good one. So when it finally came time to go, well, I had a doctor's appointment, and I went in, and the hospital was just across the street, and I went for my appointment. And that day I remember I was feeling, I had an awful backache, and my stomach just didn't feel right. Just nothing. I never thought I was going to have a baby. Well, I was overdue, but I don't know, the thought never struck me. Once I went overdue, I think I was 4 days. I kind of thought, well, it's probably going to last a few weeks. So went to the doctor, never thought I'd be having a baby. And he says, get to the hospital, which his office was in the hospital. And I says, no. I have to go home and get my camera and my stuff. He says, no, you have to go to the hospital. So, of course, what did I do? What would be your thought? Did I go to the hospital? Oh, of course not. I went across the street. Well, didn't walk. It was a huge street. Oh, fruit flies. Good Lord, that time of year. Anyhow, so I got my pillow and my bag and my, let's call it a focal point, and my camera, and I called my mom, crying. And I remember it was later there, I think it was New York. It was 3 hours ahead. I don't remember. But anyhow, I was just crying, and it was so hard to be alone, not having her there. So off we went to the hospital, and from the point of getting there till I had a baby in my hands was 3 hours. So I guess that's the gift I got for the 9 months of all the yuck. I got, well, it wasn't easy. The baby wasn't breathing good, so I had to have an oxygen thing put on me. There was a lot of mess going on, but at the end, it took 3 hours. But then the healing part, well, sure wasn't anything we learned in Lamaze class. Not to scare anyone, everyone's different, but all I know is I was going to the bathroom, and I remember walking to the bathroom, and the next thing I realized, I'm looking up at the nurse. I passed out on the floor. I sure did. So I say the first rodeo for me was a bad one, and then there were all the ones in between. And then, of course, as you know, with Polly, I had preeclampsia at 17 weeks, which you usually don't get it that early. You usually don't get it with your 8th kid. So I don't fit the mold. I'm not a cookbook case. But either way, however we get these children into the world, women are the most strongest human beings around. A man could never in a million zillion infinity years go through what we go through. They would never ever be able to understand what it takes to grow a life, not only inside but out, because I wasn't a fortunate one who had a hands-on dad, so I pretty much did all the work. But that's okay. Once they were out, it was a lot easier. Well, not really. I shouldn't say that, right? Maybe you were a lucky one and your baby slept. My first one sure didn't. Just cried and cried. Of course, he was in the NICU for, I want to say, 10 days. because he got pneumonia and he had, what's that thing called that they check you for? Again, I don't take notes, so I'm just talking from memory. Strep B, strep, whatever that thing. Yes, he had that, pneumonia. So my mom did come because I wasn't able to go back and forth to the hospital. I wasn't able to drive and all. So I remember once he came home, we lived in an apartment, and I remember my mom taking a picture of me holding this little human being in my hands by the pool, beautiful palm trees and everything in Arizona. She came to help me. We had to wait till he was 6 weeks old till we could go on a plane. But I remember before she came, it was so hard, but there was a woman there in the apartment complex. Her son had a motorcycle accident, and he was part of the kind of group we hung out with. So when this happened, I used to go and help him because he got real messed up. And then the mom came, and he had told her about me, and she came and she helped me a lot. She filled in till my mom got there. But boy, that was like, I thought, I don't want this big family anymore that I thought about, because if you got to go from here to there to get there, and then you get no sleep, and boy, that was hard. But still, I enjoyed every moment of it. I still don't remember when I look back, how did I get through ×8 without sleeping? But then I thought, people that study to be a doctor, they're on shifts sometimes 48 hours without sleep. But no, I found out they get to lay down in a back room when it's slow. Well, I'm talking about years ago. Now the world is all upside down. So they did get uninterrupted sleep. So there went that comparison. But you know what? We do what we got to do to get through it. And again, the first one, I guess, maybe it's a test. If you get through the first one, you get to the next one, right? That one had the colic every day, walking the floors when we were back here in New York, back and forth, hours on end, every day like an alarm clock. Oh, the stories I can tell. Maybe I'll do a series about each one of my little gifts from God and what I went through to get there. But yes, as mothers, we do a lot, don't we? We sacrifice a lot. But nobody but a woman can feel what it feels like to grow a human being. So that's how we get to be a mom. It's not an easy place. It's not an easy way to get there. It's not like landing a job. You go for a job interview and get it. No, there's no interview. And the worst part is, when you get a job, you usually are told what to do. But as a mom, are you given any instructions when you leave that hospital? No. You are just given this baby and good luck. And they used to joke, see you in 9 months. So were any of you scared? Were you ever thinking, how will you do this? I don't know, maybe you're an older mom. I don't know if it makes a difference if your first baby is when you're older. And I don't know, I started babysitting when I was 9.5, so I had a lot of experience. But I guess it was once it was my baby around the clock. I couldn't leave when I was done babysitting. It was all on me. So that's the joy of motherhood. So those who are not mothers, not everyone chooses to be a mother. So happy Mother's Day to your mothers. But this is obviously, it's Mother's Day, so it's directed to the joys, the challenges, everything we go through to be able to have that word, mommy. And I remember always thinking, what word would my child say first, mommy or daddy? I can't remember now. But all the stages we go through, for me personally, as much as it was hard, and I just got done saying how hard it was in the loss of sleep, I love the newborn stage, the first 3 months. As hard as it was, you just can't get enough of those baby snuggles. And back in the day, there wasn't a thing called kangaroo care when I had my first, second, or third, I don't know. Maybe by the fourth one was out of the fifth one, I think they started doing that. And that's a real nice thing. It's a joy after you go through all what you go through, and then, forgot to mention the RH negative thing I have. So you have to have this shot twice during your pregnancy, and let me tell you, it wasn't fun at all. Oh, and those that had gestational diabetes. Oh yeah, raising my hand over here. So you go through a lot to get this tiny little human being. But once they place that baby in your arms, you forget everything you went through. And then you go on, if you're lucky enough, if the planets align, you're lucky enough to go through the horror again to get to that wonderful place to have that baby put in your arms. So once again, happy Mother's Day to all of you. Enjoy your kids, and if you have grandkids, and if you're not a mother and you still have your mother around, don't forget to give her an extra hug and kiss. Hope your day is special. Hope you enjoy it, even if it's just going outside and looking at the beautiful scenery. It's one of my favorite things to do, as you all know. So have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye for now.